I think it would be a bit of an understatement for me to say that we are living in momentous times. We're going through a global pandemic that soon will have killed 500,000 people worldwide, with something like 20% of those deaths happening in the United States. And right in the middle of the pandemic, there is a powerful and inspiring movement that is gaining momentum in the United States and around the world. People are joining together to address the violence of white supremacy and to reimagine how we should go about the work of law enforcement and public safety, especially within communities of color. And we're gathering together in many ways to work towards racial equality in all sectors of our society. It feels as if there's a lot of work happening and a lot of work to be done right now. And because so much focus is being placed on the COVID-19 pandemic and on the Black Lives Matter protests and on calls to action, it could be easy to overlook the fact that June is Pride Month. But we cannot neglect the observance of Pride, especially because there is so much work to be done in the world. We need everyone, from activists on the streets who are protesting and calling for change to law enforcement professionals who are willing to listen with compassion and to learn. We need educators and economists and mental health professionals and public health professionals and journalists and pastors and politicians and scientists and activists and poets. We need women and men. We need non-binary folk. We need straight people, and we need gay men and lesbians. We need those who are bisexual. We need cisgender and transgender sisters and brothers, and we need siblings whose gender identity is non-binary. We need the voices of those who long have been silent, and we need the ears of those who for too long have spoken too much. We need everyone, and we need everyone to be strong and to be able to find a voice and to speak with dignity. And if we want people to be strong, people must be supported. And if they're going to be supported, they have to be celebrated. And this is why an observance of Pride is so important. Now, for some of us, the work of celebrating and supporting members of the LGBTQ community, that will mean engaging in the ongoing process of learning to support and to celebrate ourselves. For others of us, it will mean continuing the work of learning to embrace and to support those whose manner of love is not natural to us and whose gender identity provides us with an opportunity to learn and to grow. Now, science and simple observation tell us that while most people in the world are cisgender and straight, a whole lot of people are not, which means that if we don't celebrate and don't support the LGBTQ community, then we are not celebrating and not supporting a significant portion of the world's population. And we cannot afford such an oversight. We never could afford it, really, but now, more than ever, we need everyone's strength. For example, if we don't remain actively steadfast in upholding marriage equality, then we're depriving an awful lot of people of the loving stability of partnership, and we're doing it at a time when strength of stability is paramount. If we don't take joy in the knowledge that lots of families have two moms or two dads or have parents who are non-binary, then we're depriving a whole lot of children of the strength gained from strong community support. And we're doing it at a time when community support is vital. If we don't honor and celebrate those who are asexual or aromantic or who for whatever reason choose to remain single, then we're holding people back at a moment in history when we need everyone's voice to be heard, when we need everyone's strength. This is not just theoretical. From Bayard Ruskin in the mid-20th century to Alicia Garza today, LGBTQ folk have been at the forefront of the struggle for civil rights and racial justice and equality in the United States. Without Bayard Ruskin's wisdom, the civil rights movement led by Dr. King might not have been committed to nonviolent action. Without Alicia Garza, the Black Lives Matter movement would not have one of its strongest voices. And while the names of scientists from the LGBTQ community who are working on the COVID-19 virus, their names might not roll off the tongue as easily as do names like Bayard Ruskin and Alicia Garza. Still, a simple Google search renders names like that of Dr. Sean Whalen from Washington University in St. Louis, whose research is being used in pursuit of a vaccine for the COVID-19 virus. And who wants to live in a world that does not rejoice in the work of people like Dr. Whalen, or the work of untold multitudes of scientists and healthcare workers and essential workers who are staring COVID-19 down in an effort to keep the rest of the world safe and healthy? To celebrate Pride is to affirm the wisdom found in the book of Ecclesiastes. Two are better than one. We strengthen each other. We keep each other warm. We have each other's back. We are like a woven cord. Each strand is essential, and every strand makes us stronger. And what we need these days is strength. So let us remember to celebrate Pride with gratitude, with great joy, and with enduring hope. Now, I want to close my sermon by saying how important it is for churches like ours to celebrate Pride. Over the centuries, I doubt there is any institution that has done greater harm and countenanced more violence towards the LGBTQ community than the Christian church. Now, that knowledge could make us defensive. We could say, well, not all churches. I mean, Montclair Presbyterian Church, for example, has been welcoming gay men and lesbians into our congregation since the 1970s. Or if we were more traditional in our approach, we could say, it has nothing to do with disliking gay people. We're just following the Bible. But to me, neither one of those responses rings true. We cannot change history, but we can learn from it. We are called not to be defensive or to rest on our laurels. We are called to do what is right. We are called to speak up. We are called to honor and to celebrate and to support those who traditionally have not enjoyed the goodwill or good wishes or the societal protection of the church. We are called to listen. We are called to learn. We are called to change. And so, may our celebration of Pride not be a vacuous recitation of empty phrases. May it not be a distraction. Rather, may the observance of Pride place us as a community right in the middle of the world in all of its upheavals and emergencies. And may our celebration of Pride serve as a commitment that we will support and we will strengthen and we will honor and we will celebrate those who in the past might have felt compelled to hide their gender identity or their sexual orientation. And as members of the LGBTQ community do the work that transforms the world, let us rejoice in the good things that God is doing.